Our assignment was to plan an after-school program for the children of Oceano. In the process of this, we came up with a mission statement. And our mission statement is to share the gospel with the elementary students of Oceano. We also came up with a vision statement. Our vision statement is to capture the attention of the students through activities for the purpose of bringing them to Christ. So we're brainstorming how we can do this, how we can start an after-school program from scratch, and honestly the whole thing seemed a little bit overwhelming until we got online and did some research. And we actually found an organization that already does after-school clubs, and it's a part of the Child Evangelism Fellowship. They have an established program in this area called the Good News Club. They minister to children between the ages of 5 and 12 years old. The Good News Clubs were established 75 years ago, so they really have this down pat. It's an amazing, amazing program that God has been using all over America. As a matter of fact, currently they reach 19.9 million children with the gospel of Jesus Christ every year. So we're excited about partnering with them. They do provide training, online training for the director, the teacher, and the volunteer workers. They provide screening so that you know that everyone working with children doesn't have any kind of issues that could endanger the kids. Generally, these programs, as far as cost, they're co-sponsored by a church or organization or even an individual. They're free for the children to attend, which is really exciting. In the programs are wonderful. They have curriculum that you can use. Generally, they meet in schools or community centers or even in people's homes. As far as what the kids do in the program, they learn songs, they do crafts, activities, Bible stories, they have snacks, they just receive love. You know, they just receive the love and care of the volunteers and the teachers. So it's an exciting program, and we're looking forward to getting it started. Thank you. Okay.
Which brings us to our issue buckets. The first one is kids. And under kids we have students. The curriculum for Good News Club is catered to students age 6 through 12. But we need to decide whether we want to have it just students of the Oceano School, or if we want to have it from students in the surrounding cities or just in the community. Secondly, we have applications. We'd like to have the students fill out applications before they come, just so we can get to know their parents' names and phone numbers and any allergies, etc. So we need to refine that a little bit. And lastly, activities, such as whether we'll be doing art or drama or music or whatever, aligning something the kids would be interested in with the passions of the staff and volunteers. Our second issue bucket is logistics, which has location. So are we going to hold it at the school, or are we going to hold it in the park, or are we going to hold it in there's like an activity center nearby, or anywhere else? Hours, when are we going to hold it after school, how long will it last? Days of the week, will it be 1 day, or 2 days, 3 days, which day? Which also brings us to other activities in the area. We don't want to plan our after-school program over another after-school program or another activity the kids are participating in. Seasonal, do we want to have it just in the summer? Do we want to have it just in the winter during the school year, first semester, second semester? And then finally, advertisement, how we're going to get the word out that this is happening and get students to come.
This brings us to our third issue bucket, which is staff and volunteers. The first thing in the issue bucket is director. We do have the name and number of the director of the last Good News Club that they had here in Oceano. But the director is basically the person that just kind of oversees everything and kind of takes the helm of it all. The second thing is staff and volunteers, which would just be the people working with the students and going over everything that we have, which would be either our staff at YWAM Pismo or just people in the community. We would possibly ask people to come and help, maybe moms that have some spare time or people that helped out last time. If we could get in contact with some of them through the director of the last Good News Club. And then we have training. Training would just be probably an online course. We're not too sure about that. We have to look into that some more. I know there's background checks that need to be done just to see if you're a good person or not, just so you can work with the children. I think there's an online course too that we would have to take just to kind of go over everything that needs to be done and things that you should be doing or should not be doing just with the children. Which brings us to our fourth bucket list, or issue bucket, which is admin. And in admin we have materials, which is just kind of the things that we would need to have with the Good News Club, such as like crafts, maybe game materials, drama materials, and all of that. It's just kind of what we would have. Expenses, that would cover the cost of everything. We would need money for food. We don't know if the money will be provided by the Good News Club, or would we have to maybe fundraise, or would that just be part of us personally to provide as YWAM Pismo. Third thing is guidelines. We don't know if there's anything that the Good News Club would like us to kind of follow, or we have to like come under them and just what they would like us to do. And then curriculum is our fourth and final thing in our issue bucket, and that's just what we would be doing with the children. What kind of Bible studies, maybe games, stories that they would like to tell. Would there be any like kind of homework that would have to go into that? And yeah, so that wraps it all up.
Alright, so you've heard a lot about the Good News Club, you've heard a lot about Oceana Elementary School, and I want to just share a little bit more about our heart for this community here. As YWAM Pismo, we aim to be a community reaching a community. That means we want to share the love of Jesus that we have with the community, both in our hometowns, in the 5 cities area, in the country, and in the entire world, reaching the nations. One thing we want to get better at though is reaching it here in our own town. Oceana is one of the poorer communities within the 5 cities, but we have a really big heart for them. We come here often to pick up trash and just hang out with the people, but we want to start something bigger, and that's what you've seen. You've seen what we want to start. You've seen our passion for the kids here and our desire to reach the elementary school students of Oceana Elementary School. But we need your help, we need volunteers, we need funds, yeah, we need a bunch of things, but mostly we just need your prayers. So please be in prayer that if this ever comes to fruition, that we would reach as many people as possible for the gospel of Jesus Christ.